I work for the National Wildlife Refuge Association in the U.S., which is a small NGO that works with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, which is a government agency. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service plays a lot of different roles across the United States, but also has an international program. So there's an interesting crossover between issues of conservation that are happening in the U.S. and in India. And I think it's been great, both for me and for the students who've been on the trip, to see how there are a lot of similarities between the conservation issues, and there are also a lot of differences, but probably more similarities than differences. And they have to do with habitat range for wide-ranging species, predators like tigers, or in the U.S. like panthers in Florida, or wide-ranging species in the western United States. There are a lot of issues between local communities and wildlife populations that may be impinging on local livestock management or other issues. And ultimately, there are a lot of overarching goals to help protect apex predator species as an umbrella for other species that are either threatened or at risk. Much like in the U.S., there are a lot of issues that come into play between local communities who are maybe managing livestock and cattle and wildlife conservation issues. One thing I think that both the students and I have been really impressed by is the commitment by a lot of conservationists who are really having to be persistent and raise their voices in favor of conservation in a place where there are a lot of other social issues that are extremely pressing, poverty being the most obvious, but a lot of political issues and natural resource issues. Earlier in our trip, we visited with a number of students from Delhi and Jaipur and talked with them about conservation issues, and I think it was pretty influential to all of us to see how similar some of the issues are, and to be really inspired by young people in India who are very committed and very interested in tiger conservation and issues around wild tigers specifically, but also making the connections between wild tiger conservation, climate change, water, the economics, and the future of India. These are issues that are very topical in the United States as well. And I think that we've together learned a lot of lessons from India, and have tried to bring some lessons from the U.S. to share with both students and conservationists here. The Refuge Association and Tigers for Tigers have been working together for about a year, and the goal of the partnership is to help build support among Tigers for Tigers clubs at universities across the nation, and also try to help their efforts have national impact. And there have been a couple of different national meetings held. The students have come to Washington, D.C., met with their legislators, taken action on policy issues that have direct impact on U.S. policy on poaching, on multinational species funding, and a range of other policy issues that may be related to states or more broadly. We think that this is a really important undertaking, that it's a way of engaging youth in a manner that has direct impact, and it's something that really helps students understand the political process and to see that they can have a genuine impact speaking out, meeting with people who have policy impact, and seeing real results. And I think the objective we have in working with Tigers for Tigers is to connect some of that activism with real conservation results on the ground. As someone who's been working in conservation for a little over 15 years, it's been really refreshing and rejuvenating to travel with students who are really inspired, are idealistic, who are sponges of learning, and who are really compassionate as they travel through a place that is very different from their experiences, and to find the commonality between some of the challenges in India and some of the issues that they know about at home. I think there's been a great benefit to seeing some of the theory put into action, and through game drives, through exchanges with local students, through cultural expeditions, we've really been able to put together a comprehensive view of many of the issues that are relevant in India and relate those to what these students have been studying throughout their university years, and a lot of social issues that they're aware of that are relevant in the U.S. So I think that that part of this, having the opportunity to travel with college students at this stage in my life and career, has been incredibly rewarding and exciting.